Hey guys, it's me, Rio Babo here, and I'm here to do just a video on just recommended RPGs for the Xbox 360. If you have an Xbox 360 and are looking for some RPGs, I'm here to just tell you the ones I think are the best and that which you should try out. I'm not saying like you'll for sure love it. Don't be like, "Oh, I hate it. Why you recommended it to me?" Just think of it as a word of just advice, just an RPG that, could appeal to you. If it sounds interesting, I'd say get it, since these RPGs are, most of them on the list are actually pretty cheap right now and you could get them at a good price. So here's the list. And the first game on my list would be Mass Effect. And a lot of people probably know Mass Effect right now. It's just getting a lot of hype from every game site pretty much. But I feel that the original one's the best one. It seems like everyone just played the second one and just like, oh, Mass Effect's the greatest series ever. But I really think they really left this game out. They just never tried it. People on Xbox just played Mass Effect 2 and they never tried the first one. And I really think you should get it since the price is extremely cheap. I bought this game $60 new. I remember the time I had the choice between Assassin's Creed or this game, and I'm so happy I chose this game instead, since while Assassin's Creed is not a bad series, like it just didn't appeal to me, and Mass Effect appealed to me like crazy. With Mass Effect 1, which I preferred over the second one, is that the story is just better, the writing's better, the world feels a lot more fleshed out, and the game is more mature. And what I mean by mature is that in Mass Effect 2, yeah, it had more blood, more swearing, but it did handle it in a mature way. It did handle it in an adult way. It seems like they put like sex scenes just for like the hell of it. But the first one, they feel like they have meaning. Like everything that they do has meaning to it. Like even the second one, in reality, your dialogue choices that you made didn't really affect the story that much. It was about how much you mind or how you did the party member missions or the loyalty missions. But for here, your choices matter. It doesn't matter how you treat your companions. You're Commander Shepard, and as Commander Shepard, you control your team, not your team controlled you. Which is what I love about this game. You could do, you could just tell your party members anything because you're commander. You're the leader. You have to make the tough decisions. In this game, you do. In Mass Effect 2, like, yeah, it was a tough decision to mine all the time and just do their loyalty mission. I didn't feel like I had the choice. I feel like I was forced to do it just to get the good choice. But in this game, you have to make the tough choice. It was your decision, your consequences that mattered. Because in Mass Effect 2, like, no matter what I said to the party members, I had to be good to them because if I wasn't good to them, I'd get the bad ending. But Mass Effect 2, like, the game doesn't like force you to grind at all. It just, you could go straight through the story, have fun as much as you want, and just when they give you a choice, it's your decision. I don't know how to explain it. Just the fact that I feel like I have power in this game. Like I can control these characters. I have an impact in the game, unlike the second one. Yeah, sure, I had an impact, but it's kind of like The Sims. Like, technically, you could do whatever you want to The Sims, but in reality, you're sort of forced to do what The Sims like for you, which is sort of ironic and just pretty much goes against what, you know, just true freedom really is. And I feel Mass Effect gives you that freedom and that choice, which few RPGs, even today, lack. The next game on the list is Dragon Age Origins. And Dragon Age Origins is a weird game in my like usually in games I just look at the review, see what it is, but since it was BioWare, I just trusted them. I barely looked at the reviews. I was just like, I'm gonna get Dragon Age like as soon as it comes out, when it comes out, and man, it really just proves how great BioWare a company is. And sadly, I feel that EA just killed them to the point where I don't trust them anymore. Mass Effect 2 came out. I mean, I liked the game. It was a great game. It just sort of disappointed me compared to the first one. And don't talk to me about Dragon Age 2. That was just a terrible game. And it had a lot of problems. And it's kind of sad that it just reminds me of that. It just misses that time where I just trusted the company. I would just get the game. I just loved BioWare for what they did. And Dragon Age Origins is like the spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate, which I have never played. I sadly regret that. I really need to start playing Baldur's Gate series one day. But this game to me is sort of like if you played Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, it's like that in medieval times. Yeah, so yes, it reminds me more of that. But what I really liked about the game is just that it reminded me of Knights of the Old Republic in a fantasy setting, which is it's just kind of awkward since Knights of the Republic came from Baldur's Gate, but whatever. I just loved how just the story was great. Like it was simple, but when you got deep down to the game's world, it was just so deep. That's what I think what I like about BioWare. There's stories are actually pretty simple, except for Mass Effect. I think Mass Effect was one of the more complex ones. But when you just got down to the world, the characters, and just it just feels so deep, so expansive. Even though the Dragon Age Origins isn't like an open world game, it's still just really fun. I felt the game had great characters, a great story, a lot of choices you had to make, a lot of role playing elements, a lot of just armor, loot to get, a lot of side quests to do. The main story is long, like around 40 hours. Really, just a great game. Just I love the combat system. I love the dialogue system. I just love that your character didn't talk. You know, it's kind of weird. Like a lot of people are begging that their main character should talk in choices, but honestly, I think I'm just feel like one of the few people just don't like when their character talks because when he's talking, I'm thinking like, what's coming out of my head? Like when he says, I don't want to spoil any decision. Like one where you have to either save a boy by going to the mages or just kill him. So when I had the choice, I decided to save him, but when I chose it, I was thinking in my head, that was me saying that. Rather than what in Dragon Age 2 when you had Hawk and he said something, and it's just this sad choice like, how are you? And when you click on that, just he says something like not even close to that sometimes, just like I wasn't even thinking about it. But with Dragon Age, when I chose a choice, this is what I wanted the best. That's why choice I thought was the best and I just really loved it for it. I just loved its old school feel. I feel like RPGs nowadays are just ignoring those elements, ignoring just stats and just altogether feels they're feeling more like action games that you could just buy armor from, but they just kind of feel worthless. And that's why I love this game. I don't know how to describe it, but this game's amazing. This game's cheap right now. If I were you, get the Dragon Age Origins and the Awakenings expansion together. I believe it's 25. I could be wrong, but this game is long. It's way worth the money if you buy it used. And definitely just go and get this game if you really want a long, serious RPG. The next game on the list is Oblivion. And I remember when I first got Oblivion, I was playing games like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts back on the PS2, and I never owned an original Xbox. So when I got my 360, I was like, Oblivion's like the best RPG ever, just by all the gaming sites. I was just like, I have to get this game. And when I got this game, I honestly at first I hated it. I just couldn't stand it. I was just playing the main story. I was just like, the story's not interesting, the character's not interesting, the combat's not that much fun. But when you got to what the purpose of the game is, which I believe is just exploring, doing side quests, the game just becomes amazing. Like when I'm just like one time I decided to just explore, talk to people. These side quests that they give you are just amazing. I remember the first time I was just walking around the Imperial City and I had to have one side mission just almost out of nowhere just to be a vampire hunter. That just sounded awesome. I was like, I got to be a vampire hunter? And there's one where you get to jump inside a painting. Like, Lou, I just went to some random house and someone's complaining where her husband went, and you just jump into a painting, and it's just like, I did not expect that at all. And this one side quest, we have to jump into a dream and help someone, and I was just so amazed. I was just like, this has just so much freedom and just so many things to do, and that's what I really liked about it. It really grew on me. Like at first, I was just like, from a hater to just a lover of this game, and I I might be a minority. I'm not sure how people feel about this, but I think I actually like Oblivion more than Skyrim. Not like crazy amounts. Not like Skyrim's a bad. Skyrim's a fantastic game. You should definitely get that also. But what I liked about Oblivion is that you know it's kind of weird. People like the conversation system in Skyrim, but I like the one in Oblivion more. I like when you get to see your character's face, how he reacts. Because in Skyrim, like they would talk like on top of like some stairs, and some people would cross over. It just felt really unnatural. Yeah, sure, the one Oblivion's pretty unnatural, but I don't know. I kind of just liked it better. And I also liked how everyone you talk to could have a conversation. Like when I played Skyrim, I talked to a guard just like, "Hey, how you doing?" He just says one line and that's it. But when you talk to any guard in Oblivion, you can ask them directions. You can ask them for special spots to be at. You can ask them for rumors like about the Great Fox, which you'll learn later on in the game. And it's you and I just really like that. Like you have conversations with literally everyone, except like monsters, of course. But like if you see this game, I believe there's a $30 special edition of Oblivion. Definitely get this game. Yeah, it might feel old in some places, but definitely give it a shot. I bet this will be worth all the money you get. Next up is Fallout 3, and I know this game is loved by everyone more than like the Elder Scrolls series. People seem to just can't get enough of Fallout 3. For me, I just thought the Elder Scrolls series were better, but no, this doesn't like diminish the game at all. It's a fantastic game. What I didn't like compared to Elder Scrolls, just it was just a lot less things to do. If the world felt a lot more dead, but the world is very interesting and very well created. You're literally inside a just a nuclear wasteland, like post-apocalyptic world, and it's just great to explore. There's a lot of secrets you can find. Like if you find a small village, you'll most likely get very interesting side quests, which are a lot of interesting side quests you should take since one is like you have a choice between just nuking a whole city or just pretty much saving them from that nuclear bomb from exploding. And I just like that. The game has a lot of different ways to solve the quests. And I thought the story was more interesting than Oblivion and Skyrim. I thought it had a lot of interesting themes to it. The only problem I'd say is other than the what I said from if compared to Oblivion is not really much, honestly. Just that maybe just the level scaling, which I didn't like to begin with, but it's not that big of a deal. So this game's cheap also. Again, if you just reach your game store, definitely get Fallout 3. You will not regret it. And since we're on the topic of Bethesda over here, let's talk about Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. And what I really liked about Skyrim is that just it was pretty much the sequel to Oblivion. That's what I wanted. I want a game that open world, a lot of side quests, just a great just great open world, beautiful. This game is actually really beautiful for the size of its game world. The side quests are great, but I haven't played enough of the game as much as Oblivion to really make like a solid decision on like everything. But like the side quests were a bit weaker, but overall like it was just great. I thought the combat system felt like it had more weight to it, and also like there were a lot more times where like your dialogue choices mattered in Skyrim than it did with Oblivion. So that was a good thing and all. Like yeah, I liked Oblivion more, but just a tiny bit. Honestly, this game is just it's just worth getting. Both Elder Scrolls games are worth getting. And if you can, if you have original Xbox or even Xbox 360, get Morrowind also. You'll have 3 games that will last you forever. And I believe you'll actually really like them all. Sorry for keeping it short. Due to time, I'm gonna have to make this into a two-part video. And I hope you really like part one. Tell me like what you want me to improve, like you want me to just speak louder, you want me to stop like stuttering. I'll try my best to fix it. So please in the comment section tell me how I can improve. Do you agree with my decisions? Any other RPGs you want to recommend? Since don't say, stuff like why didn't you add this, why didn't you add that? Just wait till I finish the whole video, then tell me. But if you have any RPGs that are underrated, any system, I pretty much have nearly all the systems except the original Xbox. So you could tell me any RPG that suits your fancy, and I really want to know what RPGs you would recommend just for anyone to play, whether on 360 or just any system. Thank you guys so much, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and peace out.